wanna give you all of me. I wanna give you all of me. I wanna give you all of me.
Put all that energy, cause I didn't give her that medicine.
I want nobody, you want it all over me.
She want put all that energy, cause I didn't give her that medicine.
I want nobody, you want it all over me.
She say nothing to divide us. Loving me is the right choice. See me with another, she got jealous. I met her on a flight to Lagos. She pray to God, make him guide us. Whatever we do, make him the bless us. Anybody way you want break us. Say she go fast and pray, Jesus. Let me give you love like I never feel. I got an energy for you and me. And there with you, I will never leave. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. I got that energy for you and me. And there with you, I will never leave. Wow, 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 wow.
You are of me. I will give you all of me.
Wolfpack Music.
You are of me. I will give you all of me.
Wolfpack Music.
You are of me. I will give you all of me. I will give you all of me. I will give you all of me.
Put all that energy, cause I didn't give her that medicine.
I want nobody, you want it all over me.
She want put all that energy, cause I didn't give her that medicine.
I want nobody, you want it all over me.
She say nothing to divide us. Loving me is the right choice. See me with another, she got jealous. I met her on a flight to Lagos. She pray to God, make him guide us. Whatever we do, make him the bless us. Anybody way you want break us. Say she go fast and pray. Jesus. Let me give you love like I never feel. I got an energy for you and me. And there with you I will never leave. Wow, 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 wow. Let me give you love like I never feel. I got that energy for you and me. And there with you I will never leave. Wow, 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 wow.
You are me. I will give you all of me. I'll give you all of me. I will give you all of me.
Put all that energy. Cause I give her that's a medicine.
I want nobody. You want it all over me.
Put all that energy. Cause I give her that's a medicine.
I want nobody. You want it all over me.
She got a beautiful smile. She give me peace of mind. She wanna give me life. Can't even lie. She got a beautiful smile. She give me peace of mind. She wanna give me life. Can't even lie. Let me give you love like I never feel. I got that energy for you and me. And there with you I will never leave. Wah, 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 wah. Put all that energy. Cause I give her that's a medicine.
I want nobody. You want it all over me.
Put all that energy. Cause I give her that's a medicine.
I want nobody. You want it all over me. This video.
Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. My voice is a little bit hoarse, so um, I'm not gonna be shouting. So let me know if you can hear me clearly. Um, Also, let me know if the feed. Let me know if the feed is going in and out. Let me know if you have if you have a steady feed. Seeing? Yeah. Um, Big up yourself, Moji. Um, Before I even get into it, big up yourself, Annibal. Before I even Anne Marie, you know I'm gonna set up my TikTok, Anne Marie. I need to set up my TikTok. Yeah. Big up yourself, Sangster. Mapari. Before I even get into it, I want to big up Bigatan and my brother Day Day with the herbs them. You see what I say? Bigatan and Day Day have the real herbs them. We cleanse the system. I personally start back my cleansing. Started back my cleansing. I started my cleansing yesterday. So I'm going on a full cleanse. Because you know sometimes you just eat up a bag of things and then at time you have to just cleanse the system. So I'm going on a cleanse. I'm going on a full cleanse for the next 2 or 3 months. Straight. I'm going to cut out the a kind of scaling down on the intake of flesh. But it's not going to happen overnight because I did consume a lot of chicken from the other day. Seeing, so I may consume a little bit of fish, but I'm going to stick to a what do you call it now? A vegan diet. You see what I say? It's essential. It's essential for me to do it. See? It is essential for me to get on that plan there. Zane, Kirk asked what happened to the noonie. You know, say, me used to drink noonie and them thing one time, but a long time I not even mess with the noonie star. Yeah? Saying so, what we want to jump into this evening, and them reasoning are big people reasoning. This is mature people reasoning. So of course, I think all of us is gonna learn something from this reasoning. Yeah. And let us be respectful as usual as big people. Yeah. So I have my brother Imhotep, you know, I go come on in a few and break down some of the more complex areas what we're going to speak about. Yeah. So this is a learning, a situation to learn. You understand? So that means we don't just follow the narrative of the mass media, and let them lead us blindly into their game. You understand? Because it's all a game, you know. It's all a game they're playing. You see what I'm saying? It's a game that many are not able to decipher. Many are not able to understand the level of gameship that these people actually are used in carrying out their mission. So it's important for us to know the things them, and knowing is better than believing. You see, a lot of us believe and we don't know. You see, people say, "Oh, you believe in a." Everyone will believe in a something, but knowing greater than believing. Because if you know something, you understand it is supported by evidence. When you believe something, you understand you have no evidence to substantiate your belief. It's simple as that. Yeah. So as you can see on the screen, that are the basis of the conversation. This evening we're going to pray. We're praying for we're praying with everybody. We are praying for we're joining in the prayers. We're joining in the prayers for the country that is being invaded. Yeah, the country that is being invaded. We're joining in the prayers around the world. Praying for these people that who are, under attack. Yeah, and we want to highlight a little bit of what goes on when you are a Yardie puppet. I know you're being controlled on a string. Yeah. So I just big up my brother Chemist. So Chemist and all of us, we joined in this prayer. We joined in this prayer for the people that are being attacked. So, so help us, join with us to pray for the victims, or the future victims, or the people that are victimized by the devil, by Satan. Yeah. Satan is on the attack, and now prophecy is fulfilling and the world is going to come to an end. Yeah. So help us to pray that God will speak to the heart of the devil and, stop the world from coming to an end. That is what we're praying about this evening. It's the Sabbath. So this evening we're praying to God to change his mind. We're asking God to change his mind. Yeah. Speak to the hearts of the people who are trying to bring this world to an end. Because, of course, God is not ready for it to end as yet. So because God is not ready for the world to end as yet, we're going to pray to him and ask him to not let it end. Because we know that he's not ready. And man has the will and has the power to end it. You see? Man has the will and the power to end the world with the fulfillment of prophecy. So we're going to pray this evening. We're going to be doing about an hour of praying and fasting, that God stop the world from ending. Because as we know, God is not ready to come as yet. God is not ready for it to end as yet. Yeah. So we pray. You see? Amen. So while I was praying, The Spirit of God showed me something. Yeah? While I was just praying, the Spirit of the Lord came upon me. You see? And asked me, why have I not been praying about this? As I was praying, asking God to protect the people that are under attack, that are currently under attack by Satan, the devil, the Spirit of the Lord said unto me, why have you not been praying for the children in Yemen, for the people in Yemen, for the starvation that is going on in Yemen, or has been going on in Yemen for the past 7-8 years, with thousands or hundreds of thousands of children dying because of an ongoing war that is being supported by the West. So the Spirit of the Lord asked me, what about my prayers? Where were my prayers, or where are my prayers for these innocent people? The Spirit of the Lord also said unto me, depart from me, I know you not, because you do not pray when your people are black, but when they are white, your prayers are just right. Hence the reason why I aborted the prayer in such short time. You see, we do not get any condemnation. Or it was not brought to my attention by the people in government and because of this I forgot to pray. Or I did not know that I should have prayed about Yemen. Because those bombs that are dropping in that territory and killing innocent people in an ongoing war is of God's will. So we have people in government very vocal now about what is going on. Isn't it ironic? That so many stay silent when the people that have similar skin color, oh, don't say that, Vegas, because now you're sowing seeds of hatred. Now you're being divisive. Now you're race baiting. I apologize. I apologize. Maybe it's just the puppet master at work. As the international community braces amid tension between such and such Read for yourself, because I'm not going to call all the names them, because I don't want them sanction my page. Because I still have little music to promote. I think I still have a little thing in the can. So as the international community braces amid tension between such and such, the opposition People's National Party says it condemns any aggression in such and such by such and such. In a statement, spokesperson of Foreign Affairs said the opposition is deeply concerned about such and such current intimidating posture to circle such and such with an overwhelming such and such. This is a dangerous threat by such and such that seeks to undermine such and such government to act against its security interests, which also could destabilize, by extension, the entire world, said such and such. Furthermore, invading such and such and unleashing misery on the freedom-loving people. Where would you there when you want to laugh? Where is breadfruit when you want to laugh? Where is brother breadfruit when you want to laugh? Yes, brother breadfruit. Yes, so you needed. Where is brother breadfruit when you want to laugh? Jeremy and Bell, Vegas may rate you very much, but I am not praying for such and such. Why such and such is allowing other such and such to boost them up to go against such and such can take on the entire world together and probably win or kill all of us. Jeremy and Bell, I think you have to get a little more climatized to the page, because you don't understand such and such. You understand? So when you learn to understand such and such, you will become more knowledgeable of such and such. See? So just look at your screen. Look at your screen. This is someone who used to be the Minister of National Affairs, International Affairs. The aesthetic representation of the ugly people. Furthermore, invading such and such and unleashing misery on the freedom-loving people of that sovereign country is a violation of international law and the United such and such charter. Global leaders who have a sense of civility and respect for sanctity of life and humanity should stridently engage towards diplomatic resolution. Such and such added. Let us go back to such and such. So freedom-loving people. Freedom-loving people. Freedom-loving people. You know what's the dichotomy with those freedom-loving people? Guess what? Guess what the dichotomy? Huh? Such and such. It's all right. People in account, and people in the body them, children them. Oh yeah, man, God wills. Yeah, God's will. Yeah. Starvation, sure. I don't know body them. When I go, I can't nobody them I kill. Oh, let me take it off the screen because it might be a violation of community standard based on what you can show on the Facebook. It might be a violation of community standard because if it's too, if you're not such and such, if you're not such and such, your demise or you being victimized is not, is not important. You have to be of such and such, orientation or of such and such gender or of such and such race before your demise or your exploitation can be shown on these platforms. So that may have been a violation of the community standard. Big up yourself, DJ Spence. So let us see what the other puppets on a puppet on a string. Let us see what the other puppet on the string saying. You see? Let us find some other puppets on the string. Yeah? I'll be just like a merry-go-round, all the fun in the air. One day I'll lay down on the ground, then I'll look in the air. Won't you leave in me, oh, God, out you will be there. I wonder if one day that you say that you care. If you say you love me badly, I'll be there like a puppet on a... I'm a little bit hoarse. Where is breadfruit when you need him? Opposition leader calls on PM to address nation on such and such crisis. Leader of the opposition, People's National Party, such and such, has condemned Russia's... stop it, boy. As condemned such and such invasion of such and such, saying that the act of aggression has left the world in a heightened state of fear and insecurity. Everybody sleeping sound. Everybody are able to get them good night's rest, and nobody is living in a heightened fear. Nobody. When you have such and such over Baghdad, you see? When all of these fireflies, and you have to be mature in the reasoning this evening to understand what's going on here. If you don't understand, let somebody take you and teach you after this is finished. When the fireflies are flying over Yemen and the fireflies were flying over Baghdad, nobody was in any form of fear and insecurity. But now everybody can't sleep. Oh, we're fearful. Oh, we're so fearful. We're going to have to pay more for oil. We're going to have to pay so much more for oil, and food is going to raise. And everything is going to raise because everything is dependent on oil. But the number one producer of oil, our distributor of oil, is not being condemned for such and such. You see? So, such and such said, the aggression has left the world in a heightened state of fear and insecurity. But in fact, while extending sympathies and prayers, so who are they praying to if they're living in fear? Didn't God say, fear not? Huh? What kind of fear these Christian nations living in? All these Christian nations are fearful. Only so afraid. Everybody just afraid, man, the world end. And every day you're telling us to repent because this about to be the Armageddon. Every day, repent. And then when the time coming now for Jesus to appear or for the judgment to start,
or for the world to come to an end. Oh, we're fearful. We're fearful. We're fearful. What are you afraid of? Right now, I rejoice in I hear the Christian them say. The Christian them say, yo, it's a fulfillment of prophecy, the world coming to an end. I asking them, when I? Because I well want to meet with God and Jesus. I give away everything I have. I gave away my money. I gave away my cars. I gave away my house. I only have one suit of clothes on my back right now. One suit of clothes I have right now, I give away everything. People, if you don't want anything, link me up. Send me a DM message if you don't want everything. I still have one TV. If I want TV, I don't really turn it on too much, so I get to it because I can't carry it with me. Worse if I held them, I send me. If it's held them sending me, I can't carry the TV and I have one sofa here. The sofa here, good same way, good sofa. Good sofa with a cushion. Cushion too. One nice cozy cushion. So I am looking to welcome this ending of the earth and everybody talking about fear. Fear and insecurity. I'm looking forward to the God coming. I see everybody running now, so they're going to turn Christian and they're going to get religious and they're going to accept Jesus. And I'm saying, yo, if Jesus is coming right now and he's going to live with us for 1,000 years, according to the Bible, Jesus is going to come and live with us for 1,000 years and the devil will be locked away in a pit. Why are you praying? Why are you trying to stop Jesus from coming? The book of Revelation states clearly, Jesus is going to come and live with us for 1,000 years. And the devil will be locked away during that time. And there will be no temptation. That means that when I see Big Batty Miss Kitty, I don't have to lust after her anymore. Because she's too expensive. But people praying for this thing cease, praying for the world no bother end. Well, stop telling us that the world is coming to an end if you're not ready for it. So let's just go back to Puppet on the String. So in fact, while extending sympathies and prayers for all those who are exposed to grave danger in this conflict, the PM President said in a news release that the situation has implications for Jamaica. What kind of implications it can have now that it did not have when the oil price was going up, when the fireflies them were going over Yemen from over such and such. Do your own studies. I know call no name. Imhotep can't come and come call name. I'm a citizen, me are no citizen. There were no implications for Jamaica when the fireflies them that were supported by the West provided the fireflies millions, billions of dollars worth of fireflies in the hands of such and such to fly them over and drop them over Yemen. And nobody was worried about any implications for Jamaica. But all of a sudden, we are now worried about implications because what? Because of one little pipeline? Okay. I need a drink. Where is breadfruit when you need him? Most importantly, the Jamaican students in such and such are in grave danger. Everybody ever check if there are any Jamaicans in Africa? Anybody check on the Jamaicans them in Ethiopia? Anybody check on the Jamaicans them in Sudan? Anybody check on the Jamaicans them in Darfur? Anybody check on the Jamaicans them in Burkina Faso? Anybody, those Jamaicans have gone back to the motherland where the people them ugly like them. Such with them ugly like them, so right now you don't really care about them because they gone back a ugly town. You see? But now we care about Jamaicans because them in a what? Such and such. And such are what? More important. Their life more important than Jamaicans in the other territories that they have dropping fireflies by the minute. You see? We don't care about the Jamaicans them in the other territories them. You see? We care about Jamaicans now. All of a sudden, we care about Jamaicans now. You see? So here we now them draw such and such. This now this how they strategically drew such and such into the conversation of condemnation. Yeah, the government's inept and callous handling of the dangerous situation facing them has shocked the conscience of our nation. Such and such said. Where's Bujo? Bujo, where Bujo when you need Bujo? Bujo, where is Gargamel? I tell you, so them need to let out Bujo. Them need to send back Bujo, because I know Bujo that touch them up, I Bujo that beat them bad pandis, you know. Because I know Bujo voice powerful. Look at that. Look at the screen. You read it yourself. Read that yourself. It's in blue. It's highlighted. It's bold enough for you to see it. Most importantly, the Jamaican students in such and such. All of a sudden, it is such an important issue to care about students in a territory when they are Jamaican students all over Africa. All over Africa, they are Jamaican students. Nobody cares about them. You see? But now we're going to use politics and we're going to politicize this to care about Jamaican students so them get caught up in the puppet and the string game. You see? And one might ask, Mr. Vegas, why you're such an old man and going to school? These are some of the reasons why I go to school. Because I don't want to be a part of the puppet gang. And I don't want the puppets them to lead me. So look how them just neatly, strategically, you know, draw the leader into it. Look at that statement. You see? Isn't it? But rather than ensuring the safe and swift exit of our students, you see, it has shocked the conscience of the nation. But rather than ensuring the safety and swift exit of our students, the government chose to offer them loans for the cost of their safe passage out of such and such, which many of the students were unable to accept because such and such airspace has now been closed to commercial flights. The students are stranded there and their lives are at risk, he added. Nobody cared about them in the other territories. Because you know why? Because is a union. You see? Look, I calculate my words. Nobody cares about them when the Occident is on the attack. You see? You don't care about if the students want to get swift exit out of other war-torn areas where the Occidents are dropping fireflies on innocent people in their ongoing war. You see? You see that? I'm going to pull up one more slide before I bring on such and such. Let me pull up another slide before I bring on. No one see how them drawing the general of the of our what they call the man who run the military. The leader of the military. Let's hear what the leader of the nation has to say. And if you politicize the leader of the nation, even the picture of the people and politicize, them people are bad. Even the picture of the people and politicize, where is breadfruit when they need a laugh? Such and such has condemned the military action by such and such against such and such. Speaking on Thursday afternoon at the groundbreaking ceremony for a police station in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, the such and such said the crisis in such and such is of great concern for global peace, prosperity, and for timely and sustained economic recovery. He chastised such and such for compromising the sovereignty of such and such. Jamaica is consistent in its support for universal respect and adherence to the principles of international law. Listen, this is important, and Imhotep is going to expound on this. This is important, students. Let us pay attention. So when the teacher come on, we don't look like a fool in a class. You see? We don't want to look fool in the class. Because the teacher can break down your stuff. Yeah? Listen to the statement. Students, let us look at this statement. Jamaica is consistent in its support for universal respect and adherence to the principles of international law. I want you all to get the notepad and write that down. Get your notepad and take notes. This is what Jamaica is saying now. Well, if this is the case, why did our PM, why our PM stayed neutral in the vote when such and such was taking over such and such in such and such? If this is the case, that Jamaica is consistent in its support for universal respect and adherence to the principles of international law, why did the Prime Minister stay neutral when the vote was brought up for such and such to go to put such and such in such and such land? Now it's convenient. Now it is convenient. So let me ask you a question. Let us stop that. Because we're not going to read all of that. Because we don't want to violate the leaders of the country. You see? We don't want to violate the leaders of the free world. You see? If that's the case, where we honor international laws, right? What about this law? The United Nations Security Council Resolution 497. This was not applicable to the people them. What should they get back them belongings? Oh, this is not applicable. But there's an international law. It's called the Golan Heights Law. But let me get off of that because it's not my platform and I don't want Facebook to compromise the page. I can't. Imhotep is a citizen of the free world, so him can't talk on that. I'll bring it up back after. Big up yourself, Marshall. But what you know, Hannibal? What you know? Watch you know, man. Maybe we get to the screen now we want to really get to. And then we bring on Imhotep for risk him citizenship. Yes, sir. We bring on Imhotep for risk him citizenship. And I'm putting out a disclaimer. I'm not the one who is telling Imhotep to say anything that he should say on this platform. Please look him up via your Google search. Yeah. So let us look what the fuss is about. Let us look what the fuss is about. Is this what the fuss is about? It seems like this has something to do with what's going on. And and let me put this disclaimer out. I am just pulling information from Google, which I'm privy to. So if you're trying to tap into my space, into my privacy of using your platform, which is not really private, or if you're trying to spy on my phone or anything like that, Your Honor, I'm just pulling articles that I think I am privy to as a student that does a lot of research. Yeah? So please stand down. So I don't know if you can see the screen, because I want to read to anything. So when I come in a class, I don't read to. When you can see the screen? Y'all can see the screen? Let me know if y'all can see the screen. Because y'all going to read to. So let's jump into this quickly and bring in Imhotep. Because we now stay along before next thing I start monitor the page and start sending up some people from Iran from the pages, some foreign language. I compromise the page. Despite years of behind the scenes cajoling and open threats of economic sanctions from to such and such administration, such and such appears to have failed to dissuade such and such from moving ahead with the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline, and such now boast that the massive such and such project is just months from completion. Right? Completion. Analyst says the such and such missed key opportunities over the past 5 years to stop the pipeline, which critics fear will form the backbone of a working relationship between such and such and such and such. It is important. Is it that? Between such and such and such and such. See? That could strain such and such undercut of a struggling such and threaten the energy security of the US, of such and its allies in Eastern Europe. I never arrested people, so if two jump out, please don't kill me. It is not a function of the frosty relationships between President such and German Chancellor such and such. President such and his aides also expressed doubt about the project without persuading such and such to reconsider. At several major inflection points since 2014, the such and such might have been able to exploit political divisions in such and global anger towards such and these keywords. Global anger towards such and such to either stop the project in its track or to help turn public opinion. Oh, Jesus, pieces of this, you see, everything is a court of public opinion, you know. You hear what they say? Turn public opinion against it so that it will no longer be politically viable. At each of those points, however, such and such has been unable to break through. Top administration officials now acknowledge that their efforts have fallen flat and say that such and such should pursue economic sanctions against such and such companies, that we have done nothing to slow the project progress. The such and such appeared intent on continuing to build that pipeline. Secretary of State told a Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing this month, we had done just about everything, basically, to discourage such and such, primarily such and such, from building Nord Stream 2. And we've done that without success today. Mr. Such and such frustrations with the pipeline boiled over memorably at a Rocky Brussels summit in July, when he complained to such and such secretary, such and such, that Germany was, that such and such was now totally controlled by such and such. You see that? Such and such was controlled by such and such. I never rehearsed it, people, so take time with me. We are supposed to protect you from such and such. Listen, this is key. We are supposed to protect you from such and such is making pipeline deals with such and such. Mr. Such and such said at the time, you tell me if that's appropriate. Explain that. The pipeline conceived by such and such, state-owned such and such, with financial investment from other major international players such as Royal Dutch Shell, is expected to be completed by the end of the year. Such and such officials said this month that about 621 miles of pipeline have been finished. When completed, such Nord Stream 2 is expected to stretch about 745 miles from such and such city of such and such near the border with such and such to such and such in northeastern such and such. Critics warn that the project will give such and such an even more dominant role as an energy supplier to such and such, which such and such could wield as a geopolitical weapon by threatening to raise prices of or cut off supplies. You see? Raise prices. Talk about such and such. We have dropped fireflies over Yemen. Such and such last year spent about 7 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. Well, such and such last year sent 7 trillion. Somebody want a contract. You see that? Such and such last year sent 7 trillion cubic feet of natural gas to such and such, accounting for about 40% of the continent's total supplied. And Nord Stream 2 could double that amount, its architect says. You see? I think we're going to get the drift. I need to go like this. Don't get so. You see? Bass and Brian, since we can't freely read an article, you can't stay there. I think they run the internet, you know. Algorithms, you know. Algorithms run the internet. So right now, if you don't say such and such, you know, so your page gone down to the bottom tier. You see? So you're trying to read it and say such and such. Then put your page in the tier way. Nobody cannot see it. Shadow block you. Then basically, the page is already shadow blocked. So we don't want to be like Tanya Stevens' page. Right now, you can't find Tanya Stevens' page. Because she got to talk about such and such. You see? So, let's bring on Imhotep to see if we can make sense of this. Give you a better understanding of what's really happening here and who are the real victims in this whole thing. You see? Heal, brother.
Yeah, peace, love, and light, family. Peace, love, and light.
Yeah, man, big up yourself. Give thanks to the link.
Yeah, man.
You can break down this better than me of what is really happening here. And why is this some form of propaganda? Why is this, in my opinion, some form of propaganda that a lot of propaganda being spreading? And where this come from? How did it start? And what is the end goal here?
All right, first and foremost, I want to put in a disclaimer that, you know, I am intoxicated, so anything I say or do should not be accepted with no credibility. Just to put that out there first and foremost.
Let me add that to my life. I am under the influence of alcohol.
That's right.
So whatever I say in this live, you know, cannot be used against me in a court of law.
Correct.
And please note that it is white rum in the bottle.
Correct. All right, so I want to start off by saying that people don't drink the Kool-Aid and don't dance to the tune of the Pied Piper, because what we have going on is a geopolitical chess game, and that geopolitical chess game has been playing for quite a while now. Unfortunately, you know, Ukraine is like the pawn in the geopolitical chess game. As it relates to foreign policy, you know, such and such world boss, their policy right now is to pivot towards China and Russia, because they see China and Russia as a global threat to their dominance and hegemony. So they have to do whatever it takes to suppress China and Russia. So for China, it's Taiwan. They can use Taiwan and agitate China and blah, blah, blah. But for Russia now is Ukraine. Subi, as it relates to Lisa Hanna's position, I just want to say shame on her, Mark Golding, shame on her for trying to score political points. Because truth be told, when Lisa Hanna is saying that Russia is encircling Ukraine, Russia does not encompass Ukraine as it relates to the border. You know, Ukraine has borders with other countries. Poland is one of them. So when you talk about encircle Ukraine, that's not possible. But it's more about scoring political points, and then them put Andrew Holness in a position where, you know, yeah, him can't say him have to come out and say something. What I'm saying is this, right? Jamaica should be a country where our position is like a non-interference, non-interventionist approach. You know, we should be, you know, neutral Like, like Switzerland, neutral. You never hear Switzerland come out and condemn nobody yet. No matter what, no matter what go on in the world, you'll never hear Switzerland come out and condemn nobody. Lisa Anna, she espoused Jamaica's non-interference and non-alignment, but what they are doing now is to pretty much interfere in the domestic and international affairs of another country by saying condemning so and so, when it should be all about de-escalation and stuff like that. It should be a rhetoric of de-escalation, not no condemnation, because at the end of the day, what's being played out is a geopolitical chess game, right? First thing first, a lot of people need to understand, say, Ukraine start most of this. And let me tell you why. Because Ukraine decided that they want to join NATO. And once them join NATO, it means that US nukes, US missiles, or NATO member states' weapons can be on Ukrainian soil. Ukraine is border with Russia because Ukraine is a former Soviet Union country, right? Ukraine has Russian-speaking people, right? And as such, if Ukraine was supposed to join NATO, it's a threat to Russia's national security. Just imagine if Mexico did say, all right, we are signing some agreement with Russia, so Russia can come in Mexico and put some missiles in Mexico and them something there. That wouldn't happen. World boss would invade Mexico a long time and take over the place. So that's the reality of what's going on. Like, there are 3 superpowers in the world, and each superpower would like to be respected equally. Russia's position is that no country that borders with them should be no member of NATO, so that them other member states can put no nuclear weapons in them country, because it's a threat to their national security. So Mark Golding and Lisa Anna, please do a little bit of study on the history of Ukraine 101, okay? This started from 2014, where the democratically elected president, right, was overthrown in a coup. And we know who involved in that already. Once we hear coup, we know who involved in that already, right? And puppets were installed, like pro-Western puppets, that's what them call them. So, they lean towards, the Western or Western ideology, blah, blah, blah. So that's the case with Ukraine. So the president, who is a neophyte to politics, he last year invited the proposal of Ukraine joining NATO. That's a red line for Russia. Russia met with the US last year. Russia wanted a certain level of security guarantees that, listen to me, Ukraine cannot join NATO. Russia was not given those guarantees, and Russia was being treated as if Russia was a second-class citizen, so to speak, in a world where it's Russia, China, and the US right now. But at the end of the day, you have, world boss exceptionalism, where them feel like, say, well, I them run things and anything them say stand. And Russia pretty much tell them, say, listen me now, the ball game change right now. You have to treat and negotiate with me on an equal footing. So what we have going on now, because from 2014, there's a civil war going on in Ukraine, in the Donbas region, the region of Luhansk and Donetsk, right? These are regions that separated themselves from Ukraine. That's Eastern Ukraine. They speak Russian. They are more like pro-Russians. You understand what I say? So they are more aligned with Russia. So from 2014, a civil war going on in Ukraine. We never hear anybody make no noise. We never hear anybody say, oh, it affects global oil prices, right? So you talk about in Yemen. The war in Yemen does affect global oil prices, because Yemen and Saudi Arabia border, and Yemen and Saudi Arabia in a war in a sense, whereas you have different factions in Yemen who are at war with Saudi Arabia. And whenever them threaten the Saudi Arabian oil supply, it affects the global pricing in the market, because Saudi Arabia is the #1 exporter of oil in the world. So the war in Yemen is even more important than what going on in Ukraine. But again, now, that's a Western war, so that takes precedence. So truth be told, it's really a chess game. Truth be told, American oil companies, right? Yeah, now they must smile all the way to the bank, because once them cut off Russia from supplying LNG, which is liquefied natural gas, to Europe, it means American companies will come in and fill this void. So one, that's the economic side of it, where a long time them want that. Now them sanction Russia, them cut off the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. So Russia will no longer be supplying gas to Europe through Nord Stream 2. So American companies is going to fill that vacuum. The military industrial complex to eat a big food off of this, because recently, yeah man, Congress approved about 300 million to 500 million worth of aid to Ukraine. They never send no bread and butter or saltfish and baked bean down there. We know where them send down there. So the military industrial complex eat a good food after that. You understand me? I say Poland bought like 50 Abraham tanks about a week or two ago. Once can Google them things I talk about, because I tend to observe what's going on the geopolitical arena. So a week ago or so, 2 weeks ago, Poland bought like 50 Abraham tanks, over $1 billion. So, it's more like a Hegelian dialectic playbook, problem, reaction, solution. So the problem is manufactured, them have a reaction, and then them create a solution. So what we have now is that what? There's the problem, yeah man. The Boeing and the Raytheon them and the one, Lockheed Martin, all these big arms contractors, they are supplying Europe now with billions of dollars in armaments. So they are making a killing. While the gas price, right? While the gas price might be increasing, the stocks of these arms dealers are increasing as well. Thank you, Subi, for backing me up with that. You get what I say? So these arms manufacturers, for them stock on the market, a skyrocket their value. These oil producers now, ExxonMobil and Shell and all them, right? Even BP too. Their stocks is skyrocketing because they are now filling that vacuum in Europe in terms of supplying them with LNG. So it's all about economic warfare. It's all about the pivot as well in terms of American world boss foreign policy. Their policy is to pivot towards Russia and China, because you don't know it got Russia and China are the the threat to their global hegemonic dominance. So ones and ones need to overstand. Say, don't get too caught up with the hype. Don't get caught up with the media, because what we have even seen in the media is that even on social media we see even fake videos, even video games, people are put out there to say, oh, Russian versus Ukraine, and it'll get on millions of likes. So don't get caught up in it. It's important for us to understand and overstand the geopolitics of what's going on. Because at the end of the day, them objective is to what? Suppress Russia, suppress China, so that they can remain the dominant force, because at the end of the day, Russia and China are a threat to their global dominance. The oil market right now, them want to cut off Russia from it, so that American companies can take it over and fill that void, which means that what? More money for them. Them stock have a value. The arms dealers, them I sell warplane, them I sell tanks, them I sell javelin missiles, Patriot batteries, whatever, right? Them I make a killing. So while we they are balling and talk about pray for this and pray for that, some people are smiling all the way to the bank, and that's the fact of the matter. So when we have Lisa Anna, who should be much more educated as to the geopolitical chess game taking place right now, right? Mark Golding, yes, clearly he's a neophyte to international politics, but they should not be trying to politicize the situation, because truth be told, there is UC Russell, which produces bauxite. It's a partnership between Russia and Jamaica, because UC Russell is a Russian company. So when them are come out in condemnation now, when them sanction these Russian companies, it's going to affect Jamaica directly, because UC Russell, which does bauxite production, will be sanctioned. And as such, it will affect the Jamaican economy directly. Lisa Anna and Mark Golding's position is that, what takes place in Ukraine affects global oil prices. Whatever takes place in Yemen affects global oil prices too, because the faction in Yemen, once them send one little drone or one little missile go over Saudi Arabia, Aramco oil facilities, right? It's going to disrupt global supply. So it's going to affect the markets. Whatever takes place in Nigeria as well affects the global oil market, because Nigeria is the #1 producer in Africa. So how we are going say those issues don't count. Whatever takes place in Libya affects the global oil market as well, because Libya is a large producer of oil as well. So why is it that all of a sudden now we are so sympathetic towards a country who, one, full of, some radicals, meaning said them radical. Two, they are being used as a pawn and a puppet. Three, the leader is one of the most corrupt in the history of the country. That government is not a popular government, nowhere in the history of it. It's the most corrupt government in the history of the country, right? So why is it that no one is telling you that these people are not popular? Why you think the president of Russia could say, well, listen, me lay down on the arms, man. Don't fight for this man, yeah, because he's just a pawn and a puppet. How could them reach the capital in less than 24 hours? And the population is what, 44 million or over 40 million people. Not even when World Boss did go in Iraq, them reach Baghdad so fast. So it's a reflection, say what? They are not popular. And the people, them not really like them like that, contrary to popular belief. Russia was not the, say, aggressor in this case. All Russia asks for is that Ukraine can join the NATO to compromise the national security. So they are saying that if Ukraine join NATO, it means, say what? NATO missiles and nukes can be on Ukrainian soil, which is a threat. Yeah, man, everyone need, I never want to say that word still, because Subi say such and such. So I could say it that way, right? So pretty much is that it's the same thing. I remember last year when there were some Russian planes in Venezuela carry some medical supplies go down there. There was a big uproar. Oh, Russia is entrenching itself in Venezuela. And we know the Monroe Doctrine go, right? North and South America, a world boss backyard that, and as such, no other country can have no influence in that sphere. That's their sphere of dominance. So they were, raising the alarm. Just imagine if Canada or Mexico did say, all right, we're going to sign some agreement with Russia, so Russia can have military forces. No, world boss would say, no, it can't happen. Invasion not going a long time. So that's the same thing that's taking place in Ukraine. And what people need to realize is that it will happen to China next. Because we see what's going with to Taiwan, right? We see the pivot towards Asia. It's a part of their foreign policy. One needs to do them research on these things, because these things in a unipolar world, it affects everything that we do. Because what's going on now, right, is going to affect global prices. You get what I say? Straight up. So I think it's important for us to not drink the Kool-Aid, not get caught up in the hype, not get caught up in the prescribed narrative. Because at the end of the day, there is an agenda to suppress these two emerging powers. Not say emerging powers, because they are world powers, but they want to be one bull in the pen, a three bull in the pen, right? And the baddest bull I say, listen, me alone supposed to reign. So whatever me say stand. They had a meeting last year where there was a meeting between Russia and World Boss. And Russia was saying, listen, I need some security guarantees. And I need guarantees that none of the Eastern countries, the countries in Eastern Europe, cannot become members of NATO. Whereas when they do no exercise and when they have no nukes and no weapons on these sides, on my border. And they did not give Russia those guarantees because they wanted this. One need to overstand, say, like even with President Biden, them want this because it deflects on the domestic policy disaster that's going on. Like ratings gone down, rock bottom. You get what I say? So now he need this to project himself as a tough man. Not to mention, from 2014, they really wanted to get back at Russia. From 2014, 2015 time, right? Because especially over in Syria there, when them did almost take over Syria, because they want to get rid of the man over there, so and Russia come in and say, no, we are going to help them, right? Yeah, they never like that, still we're going. Crimea had a referendum. So people might say, oh, Russia, annexed Crimea. It was based on a referendum. The people decided to join back the Russian Federation, which they were a part of from back in the days of the 1920s and 30s and 40s. So the prescribed narrative will tell us that, Russia take over Crimea. That's not the case. The people of Crimea are Russian speaking, and they decided on a referendum to rejoin, Russia. The same thing in Eastern Ukraine, with the People's Republic of Donetsk and Luhansk. There's a civil war going on in Ukraine from 2014. So why nobody never talk about that? Up until last year, why this still go on? You understand me? I say there was a lot going on. No one spoke about it. Jamaicans in general, you know, we tend to get emotional and we tend to run with whatever is being fed to us. Things are going on in Burkina Faso. Coup are going down there, right? In Mali, things are going down there. In Libya, Africans are dying by the dozens and the hundreds on these migrant boats. When you hear say migrant boats capsize and Europeans depend them, African people depend them, why we not condemn the slavery we are going on in Libya? Me never hear Lisa and them come out and condemn them things there. Me never hear Mark Golin come out and condemn them things there. And these are our own people who are dying by the hundreds, like every week, you know, every month. You get what I'm saying? So you know, I think we are being a bit biased there, so you know, Lisa and Mark Golin, and then put Andrew Onless in a position where he have to come out and say something, which our position should be like non-aligned, non-interference, you know, call for de-escalation, but we not condemn nobody, because at the end of the day, every country has the right to national security. When some country attack other country, where them say such and such country has the right to defend itself, even when that country did not attack the other country. So there's a lot of bias going on, and there's a lot of misinformation taking place right now. So it's important for us to not drink the Kool-Aid and don't fall for it, because people are just trying to score political points. And like Lisa and Mark Golin, yeah, trying to score political points. They're trying to politicize the situation.
Explain a little bit about the Minsk agreement and what did Ukraine? How did Ukraine break the deal with the or they faltered on the agreement of the Minsk agreement, or they faltered on the Minsk agreement?
Yeah. So the 2015 Minsk agreement was based on de-escalation. You get what I'm saying? It was supposed to be like a peace agreement where, all right, no more shelling, you know, stop the war. The Ukraine government should give the eastern regions, which is Luhansk and Donetsk, they call it the Donbas region. Those regions should be given their level of autonomy. Okay, that was part of the agreement. Ukraine forces should have withdrawn from the line of contact, meaning said that there should be no Ukraine forces on these border areas to agitate. There should be a de-escalation, no shelling, you know, no war, nothing at all. Ukraine did not fulfill any of these obligations of the Minsk agreement.
So in other words, then is a level of is it conveniently downplayed by the people and we are stand up now, and I say people violating other people civil liberty, but the same people them were said that, right? Now take note that the Donbas people them actually are supposed to be quote unquote what them call sovereign, are they supposed to be autonomous? So the same people would claim are the people who sit on the internet now. I say to stop invasion and prayer and all of them something there.
Yes.
Right. But them same one I say, yo, the Maroons them supposed to be autonomous. So if Andrew Holness was supposed to, or such and such was supposed to attack the Maroons them, right? What them that say about that? So in the case of what I say them, so after them were ordered to have a ceasefire because the people them wanted their own autonomous situation.
Yes.
Our governance.
Yes.
They refused to stop this. Such and such refused to stop the shellings, right?
Yes. And they also agreed to give them their autonomy. That was part of the Minsk agreement, to respect the autonomy of the Donbas people. You get what me I say? So them can have them own a governance and decide them own a destiny. It's just like a federal system. You get what me I say?
So how them condemn that? Let me say, where's the condemnation for that though?
Yeah, because it's a political motivated ploy. No. You get what me I say? Even with all the corruption and all what's going on, there has been nothing highlighted about that government. You get what me I say? So it's more like it's convenient. It's just like it's just like in many countries in the Middle East, right? Because they are affiliated with World Boss, whatever human rights violation them go on with, nobody no see it. You get what I say?
Right.
But at the end of the day, because they are aligned with World Boss, them good. It doesn't matter what them do. Nobody now come out, come condemn them. So you realize that it's a very one-sided narrative being pushed. You understand what I say? Because at the end of the day, you know, Ukraine should have fulfilled its obligation under the Minsk agreement. When Yemen, you know, I get it left, right, and center. Up to a month ago, like there was a detention center that was, you know, destroyed. Over 200 people died. You know, no one came out. No one came out, and that's a gross violation of international law, because civilian places should not be attacked. And we don't hear no condemnation about that. And whatever takes place in Yemen affects us all, because it affects global oil prices. Because when the faction in Yemen go over Saudi Arabia or send a couple of drones over there, whatever, it affects oil prices. So it affects us directly as well. So why are we making it look as if whatever going on in Eastern Europe is more important than what's going on in Africa and what's going on in Yemen? It's just the bias that permeates, you know, the world order. That's the problem.
We anticipate that could be the end result of this World War III. Before you speak, Pepper Seed 38. I'm not sure is who you're praying for, but if it's the people them done such and such, we get attacked currently. Remember them children in your prayer to from down Yemen here. It's like 3,000 of them, you know, are so, you know, that kind of daily basis. So while you pray, Pepper Seed, remember them children down Yemen. You say, I call when I done and me pray for the children down Yemen too.
Yeah.
So it's strange. We not see no pray for Yemen. This is currently going on, you know. This is not like this is not slavery in the 1800s, you know. This is actually current. This is going on. This is currently, it's an ongoing thing. This right now, where children are dying from starvation because of an ongoing war that the Occident is supporting. You understand what I say? So all who are praying, I not say no pray for people them doing such and such. I'm just saying it's strange to me how black people don't pray for black people when black people are under attack.
Subi, we don't hear no pray for Darfur. And Darfur has been going on from what? For about almost 15 years. Right? There's famine in Darfur, there's civil war in Darfur, there's suffocation in Darfur. There is the French in the Sahel region called Operation Bakken, right? The Mali, Burkina Faso, that region. The French them down there, them carry the Belgians, them go down there. You have all European powers down there. I'd kill half the people them down there. And nobody now talk about say pray for Africa and pray for what's going on. You understand what I say? Whole heap of things are going on in Burkina Faso. Whole heap of things are going on in Mali. Right? And no one is saying that, oh, whatever. As it relates to even international law, right? As it even relates to international law, like Lisa and Margot are supposed to talk about the international law. Because if that was the case, why them never talk out when World Boss recognized, you know, the Golan Heights, he said, boy, oh, that a part of such and such place, which goes against international law and United Nations resolution. Why them never come out against in support of international law when previous World Boss recognized the Western Sahara region between Morocco and Tunisia as you know, as a part of Morocco, Western Sahara, when these people are fighting for their independence and their autonomy. So this so-called argument of international law, right? It's only convenient for them now. But when other countries are being violated, we don't hear nothing from them. Serious things are going on in Burkina Faso, in Mali, you understand me? I say in Libya, right? You have the Tuaregs them in Libya and Mali who are being decimated. We don't hear nothing much about that. You have slavery going on in Libya. Black people in Libya are being enslaved and sold, right? And trafficked. We don't hear nothing much about that. And that's a breach of international law. You get what I say? So why we not hearing much about that? The French are in the Burkina Faso region. A month ago, Mali expelled them. Mali tell them to pack up on the things and leave. Because what they did was to bring in a Belgian force, right, into Mali without the consent of the government. So Mali, I say, hold on, you feel like say we inferior, leave. So the French pack up and leave. So there's a lot of things going on in Africa. But mainstream media don't highlight it because guess what? For them lives no matter much. But the moment we see what going over there, so the whole world is caught up in local media, Observer, Gleaner, the whole of them. Everybody just fixated on that. And a one narrative them a push. Who is the aggressor and how it affect international pricing. This is not nothing new. The Ukraine crisis is not the only crisis that has affected the price of oil, right? What's going on in Yemen is affecting the price of oil every single day. So at the end of the day, it's a chess game. Whereas, as me say, people are make a killing right now. People are make a bag of money. The oil people and natural gas people right now are gonna fill that void there.
Interesting that you said that, because you see the easiest thing for especially black people do and religious people is let us pray. But while we are praying, you know who is smiling to the bank? These companies. And them companies are smiling to the bank when you are praying.
Correct.
20 companies profiting the most from war. You see that? These are 20 countries out of the many. Yeah, we are profit from where you are pray about. Textron, so I say based in Providence, Rhode Island, is one of the 11 American companies to rank among the world's largest defense contractors. The company ranks 28 among companies profiting the most from war in 2017 with $4 billion in arms sales through its subsidiaries, which include Bell Helicopter Textron System. We don't understand where we're going. We can't go and pray,
And they must smile to the
Why
bank.
when I pray, laugh, then people laugh to the bank, bro.
On the way to the bank, facts.
See another thing there. Industrial conglomerate, conglomerate. You see, a naval this again, You know, say arms. So you see that, say arms, 4.1 billion worth of arms in 2017. We're not talking about World War. We're talking about leaders, 4.4 billion in arms sales. We can't go and pray, we're not fool nobody with the prayer, total sales, 10.2 billion profit. You see, I said 24.242 million. You see it? You see what people them employ? You see what people benefit from on the prayer? You see that?
True.
Yeah, go and pray. Rolls Royce, 19.3 billion in total sales. Profit, 5.3 billion. Go and pray. God now answer 5.3 billion prayers. If he help the people them down in Yemen, but he might answer phone and get a prayer. When the prayer have no money on it, when I go within the prayer, God know I hear, Honeywell International, 1.7 billion in profit, 40.5 billion in sales. Yeah? And what them sell? Software and consulting services in a range of industries, including healthcare, oil, gas. You see, I say manufacturing, industrial, in addition, defense contracts. You can go and pray. God no answer broke people prayer. And them people are God to talk to. These are the people God answer. Them people are sit down and sort out the war, and them just benefit from it while you are dead for hungry. You see that? United Shipbuilding Corporation, you see? When was this? 2017. You know, see that? 2017. 101 billion in profit, 5.6 billion in sales. The United Aircraft Corporation, 7.7 billion. Yeah? You see that? Yeah? Huntington in Gulls Industries, 7.4 billion in total sales. Slaves. L3 Technologies, 9.8 billion. You can go and talk. You see what I say? 5.98 billion United Technologies. I mean, I talk about World War III. Oh, yeah, World War III. We not talk about World War I, World War II. Me I talk World War III. It's at 2017. You don't see that? You don't see that? So them people like love war. So we are praying to stop it. him have to go stop them first. They want to deal with. Me can't go through all of them. You see that?
But go up top, man. Go up top. Because see who are number 1, number 2, number 3, man. Because me not see Harris Boring and Rayton and Lockheed Martin, man. Go up
Hold
there,
on.
man.
Say you never want me stop at the top 10. All
No,
right.
man, go up at top, man. Them not
All right.
happy.
So that fails. All right. So what do I sell? They must sell. They must product and service inland, air, sea, cyber defense, and everything a military corporation. Airbus 752 billion, 75.2 billion. You see how much in arms sales? You see that? 11.3 billion. General Dynamics, you see? 31 billion. You see that? Northrop, you see? 25.8 billion. You see? BAE System, 23.5 billion. You see? Raytheon, 25.3 billion. Hey, yeah, you see your boy, them see people. Oi, you see this? You see that? Boeing made 26.9 billion in arms sales in 2017. Right now, Boeing stock supposed to go up.
Facts.
You see that? That you need to pay attention to.
See next one.
Lockheed Martin is number 1, 51.6 billion. I don't think it is really hard based on them finances. I think it's just the top 20 them point out. So it simply means that while you're praying, these people are making money.
Facts.
You know what I say? For you pray for, you need to pray for somebody now in a family goes good school and become engineers so they can make weapons. So they can take on out of poverty. You see? You see what I say? No. Kimberly, that ain't your dream. All of them are dead, left them money. People are dead. People are dead, left them money from before the Industrial Revolution. So all of them not dead, left them money to you. Them dead, left them money, give them children. That are the idea I want to have. Me always hear on the table. Some here they look at Don said, boy, we go to Europe, go sell out reggae and dancehall. I thought about, you got dead left your money, Damn idiot, me not dead left my money. My money I go to my children them. You see me I say? Who are dead broke. And left for the children them broke and hungry. You see? You can go and talk. Me not dead left my money. My money I go to my children them. And my family. You see me I say? And that are the mentality where black people have. Black people have the mentality say them are dead left. Oh, me no want rich. Me no want have nothing. Me no want have nothing. Me no want run down. Me no want work hard. Me no want this. You know what? Listen me. Them people not have the mentality there. Them not dead left them money. Them are dead left the company give them children. Them are dead left the money give them children. Them are dead left the rain on top of the hierarchy to them children. And you will forever be dying broke, poor, not have nothing, Bruce. You see what I say? So you can't go on with the mentality about people are got dead left them money. All the way are got dead. Poor people are dead. Rich people are dead. You see what I say? Nobody not immune to death. Death is imminent. You see? You see? Kimberly, now I go put money first. Then we are going to put first. And money me put first. Money first. The Bible says money can buy all things or fix all things. Money first. Let me tell you. And money first. Money first. You see? Because my pitney them have generational wealth. Money first. Remember me tell you that. You think I'm a little boy and can't buy one little tie for me Christmas? My mother have to walk and wash people clothes. Even my mother did born in a riches, she now walk and wash people clothes. Can't stand the chat. I want to now put money first. Them people are put money first. Them put wealth first. Everybody have a dead. So we can't put life first. Because if me put life first, it simply means that me have some form of your end game, or may have some form of idea like life I go end. Me not believe say life I go end. I mean, I believe say life start and life ends. Me believe say life is a continuous thing. So we have different what you call it now. We overlook my outlook. Me not believe say life as something where me put life before money. No, me not have no time limit or no timeline for life. Life is an ongoing thing. Life is a cycle. Me can't put no time on a life. My life is not controlled by time and space and them something there. You see me I say, but on the realm here, me know say, money is essential for all problems. When I go down to the supermarket and I see Miss Chin, I say, Miss Chin, me not put the money first. Give me the grocery, put in my car and come back on here. She said, no, leave grocery, go get money first. And that Miss Chin tell me, big up on yourself, people. Right? Exactly, Adrian. Save on the money first. Why you work? Exactly. Why you gotta work? Why you not think that? When you go work, where you go work for? Don't forget money. You say if you not put money first, don't go work. Do all of the things before you go work. Just say me now go on and work at the last thing I go do. And say if you're picking them dead for hungry. You think the people them don't Yemen right now would put money first? Come on, you got to be joking. Are we with mentality? With mentality, but we not put money first. So that I mash you. Right? Me not try change the Kimberly. Me just me talk in general. Me not address just you. Yeah. See? So big up on yourself, people. Big up yourself, Imhotep. Now I want to get a synopsis of what is really going on. Right? And of course, the disclaimer is whatever we share here, we got it from the engines of the Occidents. You see? First is the money. So to close out, we just want to understand, say, we empathize with everybody who are going through struggles. We empathize with people that are being killed, attacked, but we're not just selective with empathy. You see that whole selective level of empathy there? It's just too obvious, and it just shows that we more care about others, quote unquote, race of people than we self. You see me I say? When other races are being attacked, we jump up, prayer this, prayer that, pray for such, pray for such. We don't put up no hashtag prayer for Yemen, no hashtag prayer for Burkina Faso. Black people, we in the West, not for we don't even know when in Burkina Faso. Because the media don't even proliferate what's going on. You see what I say? The media the mongo propagate when look even when the place in a France did get attacked, the European church, right? Even Africans this year send donation for rebuild. It never, I think it was just a fire. The cathedral. Them, nobody was responsible for it. God light it. You see? God say, yo, me not like how not touch up little boy them. And God light it. And when God light it, the Africans, them all the man down Ghana, send big donation to rebuild it. But never yet, you see, black people send a money go to Nigeria when Boko Haram them got a church. We have never seen that. We don't see when them attack churches in Africa, Christian churches, Jesus serving churches. We do not see African people. If you Google right now, coming like talk without evidence, you know. And now we are pray for only. You see, we have an inferior complex, and we have a thing called colorism. You see me I say? Nigerian church bombing. Just look at this. Before me come off of this. Just look at this. Let me go on my yard. You see? Just look at them thing here. Just look at this. Never yet. See the Africans, them are black people. I send money to rebuild a black church. Not even them one black brother in a Christ, in a Jesus. Watch out. Nigerian villagers killed in Boko Haram church attack. You never hear about this yet. But you have African leaders that send money to build back the cathedral. How much of them send back to build back them church here? Eh? How much of them send back how much of them send go bury the people them? How much of them? How much of them provide aid to people that are killed in church service in Africa? How much of them? How much of them? So now we are come hashtag about pray for such and such, pray for such and such. Me not have a problem with praying for victims. But me want to pray for people who look like me too. Me want to pray for people who I can identify with. Not that I can identify with European people, but why am I going to love European people and don't love my African brothers and sisters then? Why am I going to put a person's outer appearance over the empathy when I'm supposed to display for everybody? If I'm going to pray for Europeans when they are being attacked or when they are coming under attack, then I should pray for my African brothers them to in Burkina Faso. I should be praying for my brothers and sisters them in Sudan, in Ethiopia. Look how long the war are going on in Ethiopia and Tigray. I always see the Rastaman them condemn the Tigray people them, because they no sense. That's how we see, you know. I want to see look Rastaman come out and burn out the Tigray people them, and it's the Tigray people them under attack. You see? So we are the prayers for black people. Exactly, Robert. We always talk about, oh, it's just black and black crime. Yeah, and whenever we have any form of killings, unjust killings by police and them things here, we as black people, we talk about, yo, black and black crime, and black people kill the most black people, and when it comes down to white and white crimes, we jump in. Oh, pray for them. Oh, Lord, my God, my Jesus. In the middle of my prayer just now, God run me. If you just join, you can watch it back. I was trying to pray. I was trying to pray when the service start, when the church service is starting at the Sabbath here. And God run me. God said, go away, move. Oh, you not pray for the people in Yemen. You come now and pray for other people. Go away. God run me like, he said, go away. Go away with your prayer. You see? Big up on yourself. Give thanks to the reason, Timothy. See? One love people out of here.
Yeah, man, give thanks.